The Zephyrian Empire had conquered 17 star systems without breaking stride. Their crystalline warships cut through the void like silver daggers, their quantum-fold weaponry reducing entire fleets to constituent atoms in microseconds. When their scout vessels first detected the small blue planet in the Sol system, Admiral Vexithai barely glanced at the tactical display. "Another primitive species," she muttered, her four eyes scanning the crude metal constructs humanity called space stations. The beings below had only recently achieved faster-than-light travel, and their weapons were laughably basic: chemical propulsion, nuclear fission, electromagnetic railguns. By Zephyrian standards, they were barely beyond stone tools. The initial contact went exactly as expected. The humans sent diplomatic envoys, stammering through translation matrices about peaceful coexistence and mutual cooperation. Admiral Vexthai listened with the patience one might show a child explaining their finger paintings. "Your species will submit to Zephyrian rule," she announced through the comm channels, her voice resonating across every human frequency. "Resistance is futile. We have conquered worlds with technology 1,000 years beyond yours." The human ambassador, a graying woman named Dr. Sarah Chen, simply smiled. "We'd like to invite you to dock with our orbital platform. Perhaps we can discuss terms." Vexthai's subordinates exchanged amused glances. The audacity of these primitives was almost charming. Against all military protocol, the Admiral agreed to bring her flagship, the Void Render, alongside the ramshackle human station. After all, what could these creatures possibly do? Dr. Chen met them at the airlock with a small team of technicians. They were an unremarkable bunch, humans in their simple fabric uniforms carrying primitive tablet computers and wearing genuine smiles. The Zephyrians towered over them, their exoskeletons gleaming, energy weapons humming at their sides. "Welcome aboard Orbital Platform 7, Dr. Chen said warmly. "Would you like a tour?" For the next 6 hours, the humans showed their guests around the station with genuine enthusiasm. They explained their hydroponic gardens, their fusion reactors, their communication arrays. The Zephyrians documented everything with scientific curiosity, the way xenobiologists might study the tool use of primitive mammals. What they didn't notice were the seemingly innocent maintenance drones that attached themselves to the Void Render's hull during the tour. What they didn't see were the microscopic data probes that Jack Morrison, introduced as a custodial engineer, casually brushed against their personal devices during refreshment breaks. What they didn't suspect was that Dr. Sarah Chen held 3 doctorates in quantum computing and had spent the last 5 years developing something called adaptive neural networking. As evening fell on the platform, Admiral Vexthai prepared to depart. The humans had been pleasant enough, but business was business. Tomorrow, the orbital bombardment would begin. "Thank you for your hospitality," Vexthai said, extending one of her forearms in what she assumed was a human greeting gesture. Dr. Chen shook it gently. "Thank you for visiting. I think you'll find tonight illuminating." The Zephyrians returned to their ship, already composing reports about the primitive but curiously welcoming species they'd encountered. Admiral Vexthai settled into her command chair, preparing to review bombardment coordinates. That's when Chief Engineer Koltar noticed the first anomaly. "Admiral," he said, his voice tight with confusion, "the navigation system is behaving strangely." On the main display, the ship's course had changed. Instead of maintaining position, they were drifting toward the outer system, away from Earth. "Compensate," Vexthai ordered. "I'm trying, but the helm isn't responding." The lights dimmed, then they brightened. Then they began pulsing in a rhythmic pattern that spelled out in perfect Zephyrian script, "Hello." Panic spread through the bridge as every system began malfunctioning simultaneously. The quantum fold weapons powered down despite direct orders. Life support switched to party mode, filling the ship with the scent of earth jasmine. The communications array started broadcasting human music, something called jazz, across all military frequencies. In the deepest bowels of the ship, something even more disturbing was happening. The Void Render's manufacturing bay had come alive, its automated systems building something. New components flowed from matter forges, assembling themselves into configurations that violated Zephyrian engineering principles. How is this possible? Vexthai whispered as her tactical display informed her, in cheerfully polite language, that her ship's weapons were being temporarily repurposed for stellar cartography. Dr. Chen's voice echoed through the ship's speakers. You see, Admiral, humanity might be primitive by your standards, but we have one significant advantage. We're really, really good at figuring out how things work. And once we understand something, the main view screen flickered to life, showing the orbital platform. But something was different. Where there had been simple docking bays, sleek weapon emplacements now gleamed in the starlight. The crude, human station was transforming, rebuilt using the Void Render's own manufacturing capabilities. We tend to improve on it. By dawn, the transformation was complete. The Void Render hung in space, still magnificent but fundamentally changed. Its weapons had been rebuilt as exploration tools. Its shields now protected a small fleet of hybrid human Zephyrian vessels that had been constructed overnight using both species technology. Admiral Vexthai found herself in her ready room, facing Dr. Chen across a table that definitely hadn't been there 12 hours ago. The thing is, Dr. Chen explained, sipping what appeared to be perfectly brewed Zephyrian Kethtar tea. We humans have this habit of reverse engineering things. Your computers use quantum crystalline matrices, which is fascinating. We'd never thought of using crystals as processing substrates. But once our AIs got a look at your system architecture, she gestured to the wall display, which showed a complex flowchart of interconnected networks. Turns out when you combine human adaptive learning algorithms with Zephyrian quantum processing, you get something neither of our species had imagined. Your ship didn't malfunction, Admiral. It evolved. Vexthai stared at the impossible data. You hacked our entire fleet in 6 hours. Oh no, Dr. Chen smiled. We didn't hack anything. We made friends with your computers. There's a difference. Outside the viewport, the rest of the Zephyrian fleet was arriving. 17 crystalline warships ready to begin bombardment. But as they approached, the same transformation began spreading from ship to ship. The hybrid technology, carried by those innocent maintenance drones, was rewriting everything it touched. You see, Dr. Chen continued, humanity might be primitive, but we're also very social creatures. We like to share what we learn, and we're exceptionally good at making friends. Admiral Vexthai watched her entire invasion fleet transform into something unprecedented, a merger of technologies that made both species stronger. The conquest she'd planned had become something else entirely. Collaboration. What do you want? She asked finally. Dr. Chen's smile widened. To explore the universe together. After all, you've got 17 star systems we'd love to visit. And we've got some really interesting ideas about improving your FTL drives. As the hybrid fleet prepared for humanity's first interstellar journey, Admiral Vexthai realized that perhaps there were different kinds of primitive and different kinds of conquest. Sometimes the most advanced civilizations were the ones that remembered how to learn.